Hello students, today we will be studying soil as a resource. The uppermost layer of the earth's crust, which is loose, broken and useful for plants, is called soil. The uppermost layer of the earth's crust, which is very loose, it is broken, which has a humus content, it is useful, it is called as a soil and useful for the plants. Soil consists of mineral material such as sand and clay, organic material such as humus, bacteria and earthworms. So what all is there in the soil? Sand, clay, humus, bacteria and earthworms. Soil is formed mainly due to the process of weathering. So what is weathering? The soil is formed because of weathering. What is weathering here? When the rocks turn into a smaller particles because of high temperature, because of rainfall, it changes into a smaller particles. That is known as a weathering. As a result of weathering, a layer of loose rock materials is formed on the land surface. If this layer remains undisturbed for a longer period of time, chemical, physical and organic changes take place in it. These changes lead to the formation of soil. So in this layer, when the weathered material is on the surface of the land and it is left undisturbed for a longer time because of chemical and physical and organic changes, that layer changes into a soil and this leads to the soil formation. Factors which influence the soil formation. Just now we discussed what is soil formation. Now we will see which are the factors which has influenced the soil formation. Climate, topography, nature of the parent rock and vegetation. Climate. Climate decides the rate of weathering and the type of vegetation. How much fast the weathering happens depends on the climate and the type of vegetation. Topography is it a mountainous land, is it a plateau or is it a plain? That is called as topography. Topography of the land decides the accumulation of the soil. Nature of the parent rock. Which type of parent rock is there? Is it a metamorphic rock? Is it a sedimentary rock? Depends on that how is the texture of the soil. Vegetation. Vegetation decides the amount of humus available in the soil. Now we will see which are the different types of soil. Alluvial soil, red soil, black soil, laterite soil, desert soil and mountain soil. Alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is very fertile and it is spread in the northern part of India where you have, or in the deltas here where you have rivers. It is formed due to the deposition of fine silt called alluvium by the rivers. The rivers which originate in the Himalayas, in the last year you have studied that they bring down the sand, silt and clay and they deposit on the banks of the rivers and those banks become very fertile. It is found in the northern plains, Gujarat plains and the coastal plains, and it consists of sand, silt and clay. Alluvial soil consists of sand, silt and clay and it is divided into khadar and bhangar. It consists soil nutrients such as potash, phosphoric acid and lime. So it is fertile and good for the growth of sugarcane, rice, wheat and pulses. So alluvial soil is a fertile soil. It is formed because of the deposition of fine silt called as alluvium. It is found in northern plains, Gujarat plains and coastal plains. It consists sand, silt and clay. It is divided into khadar and bhangar. It consists of nutrients such as potash, phosphoric acid and lime. It is very fertile for the growth of sugarcane, rice, wheat and pulses. What is the difference between khadar and bhangar? Bhangar is found in the largest part of the northern plains and is composed of old alluvial soil. Bhangar is the old alluvial soil and it is like a terrace. It is found on the terraces, like it is above the flood plains. Flood plains here means the floods which have occurred on the plain and the land has raised. So it is called as the flood plains that resembles the terraces. The soil of this region is locally known as kankar. Kankar in Hindi means stone and is composed of calcareous deposits. The floodplains formed by the younger alluvial are called as khadar. The soil in this region is renewed every year. As I told you, because of the floods of the rivers, the soil is renewed every year. A new soil is here, which is very fertile, which is very good for the cultivation, or which is very good for the agricultural activities. The next is black soil, which is black in color. You can see the picture here. Black soil, also known as rigger soil, also known as cotton soil. The best cotton is grown here in this soil. That's why it is also known as a cotton soil. It is found in the Deccan Trap. It is high water, it has high water retaining capacity. That means it holds the water. It is, when it holds the water, it is very sticky, and in the summer season when it is dry, it develops the cracks. It is rich in iron, lime, calcium, potash, aluminium and magnesium. And it has deep black, its color is deep black to light black. It is found in the Deccan Trap, as I told you, in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. So once again about the black soil, also known as rigger soil, also known as cotton soil, found in the Deccan Trap. It is very sticky when it is wet, and when it is dry, it develops the cracks. Calcium, potassium, magnesium are found here. It is black in color. It is found in Deccan Trap, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. The next comes red soil. Red and yellow soil, seen mainly where you will find the rainfall is very less, and this soil is also, it also has a color yellow here. It develops on the crystalline igneous rocks in the areas of low rainfall in the eastern and the southern parts of Deccan Plateau. Yellow and red soils are found in the parts of Orissa, Chhattisgarh, southern parts of Middle Ganga plain along the predominant zone of the Western Ghats. The soil develops reddish color due to diffusion of iron in crystalline and metamorphic rocks. Why is it red in color? Because red color due to the diffusion of iron in crystalline and metamorphic rocks. The lower layer is reddish yellow or yellow. The texture is sandy to clayey and loamy. Wheat, cotton, pulses, tobacco, oil seeds are grown here. It is found in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. Once again about red and yellow soil here. Develops on the crystalline igneous rocks in the areas of low rainfall. It is found where the rainfall is very less. Red in color due to the diffusion of iron in crystalline and metamorphic rocks. The lower layer is reddish yellow or yellow. Texture is sandy to clayey, loamy. And cotton, pulses, tobacco, wheat, oil seeds are grown here. It is found in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. The next is laterite soil. Laterite soil, it has come from the Latin word where the latter means brick, and it is very soft when it is wet and very hard when it is dry here. The laterite soil develops in the areas where it has high temperature and heavy rainfall. Both are there, high temperature and heavy rainfall. Humus content of the soil is very low. The soil doesn't have humus content at all, which is not good for the cultivation at all. The reason for this is the bacteria, the decomposers, they get destroyed here because of high temperature. Laterite soil is suitable for the cultivation only with the help of the fertilizers and manure. It is found in Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh and in the hilly areas of Orissa and Assam. You can grow crops here only after adopting the appropriate soil conservation techniques, especially in the hilly areas of Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. This soil is very useful for growing tea and coffee. Red laterite soil in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala. In Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala, red laterite soil is used for the growing of cashew nuts. Next comes the arid soil, which is also called as the arid soil, seen under the arid and semi-arid conditions, deposited mainly by the wind activities. You will find the soil in the arid and semi-arid regions here. High salt content, lack of moisture, lack of humus, conker is here. Texture is very sandy, color is red to brown, found in western Rajasthan, and it doesn't allow the infiltration of the water, restricts the infiltration of the water because of these kankar, the stones. The stone layer formation in the bottom horizon restrict the infiltration of the water. You cannot, it doesn't allow the water to go inside here. You can grow crops here only with the help of irrigation. This soil is found in Rajasthan. The next comes the forest soil. Forest soil here are formed in the forest areas where sufficient rainfall is available. Where there is sufficient rainfall, the soil texture varies according to the mountain environment they are formed. They are loamy and silty in the valley sides and coarse grained in the upper slopes. So in loamy and silty at the lower valleys, they are the texture is loamy and silty. That means it's not very big in size. It is very loamy and silty. But at the upper course, they are coarse grained. That means they are big in size here. The soil experience denudation. The soil experience denudation. Denudation means here the upper layer gets eroded. Denudation and are acidic with the low humus content. It has low humus content, that's why it's not good for the cultivation here. The soil found in the lower parts of valleys, particularly on the river terraces and alluvial fans, are fertile. The next comes the soil erosion. Till now we studied which are the different types of soils found in India. Now we will study about two types of soil erosion. The two types of soil erosion are, first, before we move on to the two types here, let us see what is soil erosion. The meaning of soil erosion: removal of the topsoil from one place by the natural agencies is called as soil erosion. The top layer of the soil, the humus content of the soil is removed, and this is known as soil erosion. It is caused by running water and wind. What are the reasons for the soil erosion? Deforestation, overgrazing, scientific agricultural practices are responsible for the large-scale soil erosion. The two types of erosion are gully erosion and sheet erosion. First two lines are about what is soil erosion, then why there is soil erosion: because of deforestation, overgrazing, unscientific agricultural practices. Two types of soil erosion are gully erosion. What is this gully erosion? So the rainwater, when moves down on an uneven land scoop, so this is the uneven land scoop here, away the soil and form deep channels, which are called as gullies. This type of erosion is called as the gully erosion. It is also called as a bad land because it is unfit for the cultivation. So this is a picture of the gullies. The next comes the sheet erosion, where the erosion is done on the larger area. It is the large area, the big sheet of land is eroded here. Sometimes the water flows as a sheet over a large area down a slope. The water takes away the topsoil. This type of erosion is called as sheet erosion. So we studied two types of erosions now. What are the steps or how to conserve the soil erosion? The soil can be conserved by counter plowing, terrace farming, strip cropping and shelter belts. So let us understand all four of them. The first one is counter plowing. Plowing along the counter line can decelerate the flow of water down the slopes. That means it will slow down the flow of water. If you have a counter plowing here, it will slow down the movement of the water or the flow of the water. The next is terrace farming. Steps can be cut out on the slopes making terraces. Terrace cultivation restricts the soil erosion. Terrace cultivation, it restricts the soil erosion, so because the flow of water is slow. Next is strip cropping, where you allow the grass to grow in between the crops so that the flow of wind will not erode the soil. Large fields are divided into strips. Strips of grass are left to grow between the crops. This breaks up the force of the wind. This method is called as strip cropping. The next comes shelter belts. As we discussed earlier, shelter belts at the borders of your field. you can have a line of the trees which doesn't allow the soil erosion by wind or by water. So in this chapter we studied about what is soil, how is soil formed here, which are the classifications of soil, and we also studied 2 steps of soil erosion, how the soil is eroded, and we also studied how the soil how can we conserve the soil. Thank you.